Hey guys, so I was finished up making a knife. Now I need to make a sheath for it. I like to make my sheath out of Kydex, namely because it is extremely inexpensive. You don't need a lot of special tools for it. So you get 2 sheets, 12 by 12 off of Amazon for like 10 bucks. And I'm going to use 1/5 of one sheet, so it comes out to around $1. And I like to make my sheaths so there's not a lot of components on them. It's simple and as lightweight as possible because I don't want a big old heavy sheath after I've got this wickedly awesome thin blade that weighs nothing. I don't want the sheath to be some clunky thing. So I like to make the belt clips integral to the sheath as opposed to buying a belt clip offline. You can buy them offline, you can buy some pretty sweet belt clips, but they get expensive, like between $5 and $20. So what I'm gonna do is give myself room for the clip. And it's going to be, I want it to be about this long so it can fit about 1.5 inch belt. So you need to double that because it's going to fold underneath itself. About right there. So this is going to be folding. So the sheath is actually going to start like right here. So I want to mark end of the blade and give myself enough room for the pins that I use for probably another 1/4 inch or so, 1/2 inch. And then you're going to want to flip this. So I want room for my pin on the side. And then you can mark on the other side where it's going to be. And here, the fold takes up a little room, so give yourself some space there. And then again, mark a little bit of space on the side. So, I'm looking at, part that is right here. It's right here. And this is where the knife blade actually starts. So you come in down, across just to right here. And I don't want my belt clip too thick, so I'm going to make it nice and thin. So it's going to be a piece about that thick. So that is the layout of the knife. Now I'm going to take some shears and cut it out. Alright, as you can tell, those right hand shears are a little bit of pain in the butt to use. I usually don't have that problem because I just waste a lot more than I did. But good thing I left myself some room, so I'm still not into my line here. I got plenty of material to work with. That was less than beautiful, but into the oven we go. 200 degrees for about 5 minutes. Alright. Nice floppy. I'm not gonna lie, this is not my first attempt. However, that's the cool thing about Kydex is that you can dick it up and then just put it back in the oven and it goes back to its original shape. Alright. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, and it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Alright, so here's what we're working with. We're going to have really good tension here because I can put a pin right there which will stop that from coming up. Also what you can do is you can take your heat gun when we go to heat this, because we're going to bend this around and back. You can heat here and just pinch it with your fingers to get as much retention as you want. But other than that, that's going to be good. This is all going to be shaved. Notice I made this left-handed because I carry my gun on my right hip and I don't want this right next to my gun. Hey guys, we're out here in the shop and I've got my sheath that needs to have some material removed. So I'm going to take the Dremel and removing with as little material as I can. I'm going to try and come in and cut around. Here we go. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the heat gun, get this guy out of here, and this is just a cheapo Harbor Freight heat gun, and we are going to isolate this portion that we want to work with the foil. What this is gonna do is gonna allow us to heat up only this part without losing our forming that we have got on this part of the sheath. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna flatten it out so I've got a nice even starting spot to work with.
Once you burn the Kydex, it loses its thermoplastic dynamics and you will not be able to get to original shape. No crack, can be brittle. Alright, there. Just take this guy, make it nice and flat here for us. Nice flat space to work with. There you go. Excellent. Now I'm going to drill our holes here first and get them plugged up before I do all.
Excellent. Now I'm going to drill our holes here first and get them plugged up before I do all of the bending. So that way when I screw them in, they'll have room for my screwdriver. So I've just got these Chicago plugs, cheap, get them off Amazon. These ones are aluminum, which is cool because they're super, super lightweight. And they're adjustable. I like them that you can screw so you can adjust the tightness and how tight you want them to get them. So you figure out where that knife blade is at so it doesn't impede with the function of the sheath, but I've got plenty of room. So I'm going to come right over here. Make sure it's nice and flat. Alright, there's got one hole. Then I'll do one down here. There we go. Alright, so I've got my bits all drilled down to size. And what I'm going to do, stick in the female, I want the female in the back. That way you're seeing the actual screw part of it as opposed to the entrance. A lot of euphemisms in there. And it looks like I went slightly too small on the drill side, so I'm going to step it up a bit. Just because I don't want to try fighting for a perfect fit when it's got a nice flange. You don't need to have a snug fit on this part. Real quick. Alrighty. There we go. And then sometimes these threads, because I file them down, don't always line exactly up, so you've kind of got to get it started. There we go. So there's your look on one. Last thing I'm going to do to finish it up is just take some sandpaper, knock off all the rough edges so it's nice and smooth, and then we'll be done. Now I'll be the first to admit that this style of Kydex, kind of like the fold over, doesn't look nearly as clean or neat as like if you've got two separate pieces and you sandwich them together. That does look cooler. However, it requires bolsters to go all the way around your material. As opposed to using this as a seam. So that just creates a lot of cost and time, and also you end up with a more bulky construction. It's what adds a heck of a lot more weight than what this guy is going to weigh at the end. The average cost of my sheaths, like this, just over $1. Just over $1 for a sheath. You really can't beat that. And there's your final product. Sleek, slim, extraordinarily lightweight, and best of all, costs around $1. Pretty cool.